Streamcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Streamcast. I am Badguy, and I'm joined by.
Rayman, your name's so much cooler than mine.
Hey, Rayman is an icon. It's all good.
Doesn't even have limbs, man. It's got stumps.
He's magical, clearly.
Yeah, I guess
He's got
so.
wavering hands going about. Today's podcast is going to be a little bit different. Today, we're going to talk about our favorite soundtracks and the power of music because, as we've talked about before, music can really transcend gaming and make an average game good and a good game great. So, Isaac, I know that you like musicals. Do you have a favorite musical? Do you have favorite musicians or artists that you like to listen to?
My favorite musical's gotta be Hamilton. Like a mate of mine, was like, "Do you want to go see Hamilton?" And I remember I was like, "What's that?" And he almost hung up. Like, wait, no, I want to come. And I go to it, and I'm like, "Yo, this is amazing!" And I was just like literally listening to the soundtrack non-stop after it. It was just all I did. I think I've seen it like 3 times now. Planning to go again soon. Yeah, it's just really good.
Wow.
Like all the songs are great, and they just kind of flow into each other really nicely. Usually I don't like musicals, but Hamilton changed that. Also, musicals and plays are very, very different because
Yeah.
I went to see The Woman in Black, and oh my goodness, I thought that was the most boring piece of content ever. Like, it's heralded as one of the greats, so it's just my opinion. But my goodness, it was boring. And here's the thing, right? I wasn't the only one to fall asleep. Someone behind me, they were snoring. So, hey.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's Hamilton for me. What about yourself? Who's like one of your favorite, musicians or albums, or hey, even musicals?
Well, I definitely feel my music taste has changed over the years.
Mm,
So growing up, I was a big Kanye fan. I used to love all of his raps,
mm,
and now I've kind of like shifted a little bit where I'm a big fan of The Weeknd, and I think I just like their kind of sound. It's very different to anything else. It's not like the mainstream stuff or the commercial stuff. Uh,
mm.
I think they have imprinted their personalities in their albums and in their songs, especially. So I think that's what draws me to them. I'm a bit of a musical guy myself. I haven't gone to see Hamilton yet, but hopefully that changes soon.
So
But
good.
yeah, I've heard. That's just one of those ones that's got critical acclaim. If you're into musicals, Hamilton's one that you definitely have to watch. If you're into the theater, Lion King is definitely one that you have to watch. So I've seen The Prince of Egypt, the musical, which was
Mhm.
it was okay. It was decent. And I mean,
As
I'm
good
not
or oh,
as good
was as
that
good as the film?
no. Watch the film.
Don't know if I want to watch it anymore now.
I mean, yeah, no, the animated film is just very good. So it's more
So
that
good.
the original film is very good with everyone looking the way they should, and
Mhm.
every song being good. And I think the musical, obviously, it didn't want to just copy the original animated film, so they changed up some of the songs. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted the hits. I didn't want anything new. I don't want to know about your new stuff. I don't want to know about your remix. I don't know what your friend's been working on. I don't want that. I
Mhm.
want the good old hits. I want the bangers. Give me Playing with the Big Boys. Give me the Plagues.
Right.
Give me
Mhm.
all of that stuff. So they took their own spin on it. They gave it a different interpretation. Give them an A for effort. But yeah, like the original film is just the best. Um,
Oh, cheers, man! You
yeah.
saved me 60 quid.
uh, I mean, other music. I love a lot of musicians. Like back in the day, Eminem was one that I used to bang out. Jay-Z is another one.
Mm.
There's a lot of rappers there. So I think when it comes to music that I like in my games, they don't really match up with like my favorite like musicians or my favorite artists. Like
Mhm.
games are meant to get me hyped for the moment. When I'm like fighting the boss, I want something very high octane, And when I'm just like either farming or just doing something a little bit low maintenance, I don't want that heavy music. Also, I want something that reflects the scene. So,
Mm.
what would you say are some songs that have done that kind of well? Like music that's so good that you kind of don't even notice it.
I think it's like what in terms of background music, basically.
Background music, OSTs, maybe soundtracks as well, because not every game used an original soundtrack. Sometimes they just obtain
Mm.
licenses.
I think Kingdom Hearts did it really really well. Too well, in fact, sometimes because like you'll be going through, and what they do is a lot of battles like just appear. So you'll be walking through like town or whatever, and then you just get attacked by Heartless. You don't see them; they just like appear. And it's so annoying because like you know how you've got leisurely music when you're just walking through, and then you've got that ominous music when you're like
Oh yeah.
in battle. So that in battle theme will just play sometimes because like an enemy's stuck on a rooftop or something, and I'm like, why am I so stressed? But when that's not happening, yeah, the music's really lovely. Like Traverse Town, well, the track for Traverse Town is called Traverse Town. That's really chill. Simple and clean. I guess it's not part of the game. I don't think you hear it in the game, but I think it's used for promotion of the game. But that's just a banger. Had to slip that in there. But yeah, like Kingdom Hearts is just a beautiful game, well put together, and the music just fits perfectly. And then when you're in like the certain like Disney worlds and the locations, like they get the music right as well. So when you're in Aladdin's world, the music sounds fitting. When you're in Hollow Bastion, which isn't actually a Disney world, it's one made for Kingdom Hearts, but it's meant to be this like dark world where the villains live. Like the music is just really fitting. When you go to Peter Pan's world, again, just fits. And yeah, I think all the games are like this. Even number 3, which our friend Galdem Glucose hates, we can all agree that that's got a good soundtrack. So a man who hates the game but can say he loves the soundtrack, it's a good soundtrack. Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts to me, I think. Don't know all the tracks by name, but yeah, like I don't think any song in that game is bad. It all just works. What about yourself?
Very fair. Um, so for me, there's quite a few games that I remember. Like when it comes to the discussion of video game music, my
Mm.
mind instantly goes to like old FIFA games. So like the
Yes.
noughties, yeah, and that's
Mm.
not an OST by any means, but that is really good music, and that is really what introduced me to like other genres, so like alternative
Mm.
and rock and heavy metal and stuff like that. They always had like really chill music or like just stuff you didn't expect, but you're like, there's a rhythm here, and I like this rhythm. This
Yeah,
rhythm sounds good to
yeah.
me. So yeah, I always thought that FIFA did a really good job. Yeah, I would say almost all of the noughties, but I think specifically the mid to the late noughties, that's like where
Mm.
they were really doing well. Similarly, like the WWE games, I think they did a really good job as well, and I
Mm.
think they really got me into like rock music, and that's partly because of the entrances that we hear on the show, and partly due to the music they got licensed on their games. So like songs like Crush, Kill, Destroy, or Coming Around.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, and then when you contrast that with certain songs like Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme music, for example, or like
Mhm.
Triple H's theme music, or Randy Orton's theme music, like those are like, you can't get much more rocky than that.
Yeah.
But like they're good songs. Like you're bobbing your head without even realizing, like, yeah, this is
Mhm.
good. I don't even like this guy, but this is good music. So yeah, I think they did a really good job. And then if I'm to talk about more OSTs, then I think Pokemon is one of those ones that doesn't get enough credit for the good music that they do,
Mm.
especially when you like look at the older games. So Fire Red, that's my first, so as old as that, which is what, noughties or late 90s, I can't remember now.
I think it's
Um,
not easy. Actually, maybe it
yeah,
is. No, it's not easy, I think. Because it came
it
out when we
should
were
be
in secondary
noughties.
school. I think it's not easy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think I keep getting them mixed up with red and blue, red and blue,
Yeah. Makes sense.
and yeah, that's clearly not right. Because anyway, but But Fire Red did a lot of really good music. Especially I remember, I think it's over the power plant. There's like really
Mhm,
weird mystical music. It's almost like a ghost humming, and
mhm.
yeah, that obviously music like that doesn't scare you, like Resident Evil music, for example. But it's still like, okay, business
Mhm,
is about to pick up. Something's about to happen here. Something's around the corner, and I think Pokemon really understood like tone, like how to match what you're going through in the story with music in a way that not many other games do.
mhm.
Uh, I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Street Fighter, especially Street Fighter 2. Like, I think that's a classic when it comes to soundtracks. It's probably one of the top five in like any, average gamer's list. Guile, his theme is one of the best.
So good. Yeah, it's up
I've
there, 100%.
I've listened to so many different versions of that song, and there's not a single bad
Mhm,
one. Like,
mhm. Have you
I've,
heard the
I've heard.
a cappella version?
Oh yeah, is that Smooth McGroove?
Yeah,
Oh,
so good.
he's goated. He's the goat.
Mhm,
I
100%.
I
Easily.
don't know how. Yeah, man. I don't know how he does it, but he might have my favorite version of that theme. It's so
Mhm.
good. And also Ken's theme is really good, and Ryu's theme is really good. So the three of them, like, I would just have them on like shuffle. They're really good themes. Um, I mean, if we
Wait,
take,
don't
sorry, go on.
I was going to touch on what you said earlier when you mentioned the FIFA games. Honestly, we've got to dust off a PS2 at some point and just play a little bit of FIFA. Not even for the game, just for the soundtrack. Because you're right, the songs so good. Heck, even like SmackDown versus Raw 2006, 2007, etc. Um, some good games.
Yeah, for me, those are like really good. I think I can't really quite pin when the peak of SmackDown games were, but I think '06 was a very good game, and it was only matched by the soundtrack. So yeah,
Mm,
man, like definitely, if we can procure a PS2 or something, I'm definitely down to like play some old
yeah.
games. um, I've got a list of some games here. So growing up, I wasn't really into GTA, but my brother
Mm,
was, and sometimes I'd obviously listen in on like the cutscenes and the music when you were driving, because that was part of the appeal back then. You could drive,
mm,
and then you could change radio stations, and you had different types for different people. That's inclusivity. So, um, on Vice City Stories, I have "Everybody Loves the Sunshine" by Roy Ayers. I
mhm,
think that's his name, Ayers. A really good song, and that's not a song I'd like in any other circumstance. Like, I probably wouldn't even come across it because it's a really old jazz like song, but it's just so chill, and it's got a really chill beat. Like, I can't help but nod and click my fingers to it because it's just got that old cool vibe. Certain people are just cool forever, and like
mhm.
Roy Ayers is one of those people.
Oh, nice. I need to check him out after this.
Yeah, really, really good song. I've also got "Nickname" by Kadir, which is on GTA 4 soundtrack. I
Mm.
don't know if you've remembered that one or come across that one. It's I've got a nickname for all my guns, a Desert Eagle that I call Big Pun. Really good. Like, that one gets me ready for like a fight or something. That's a really fun song.
Andy, picking violence. Love to see it.
Well, I mean, I think that should be the tagline of myself.
um, but no, like you're absolutely right. Like, I think GTA has got some like the fact that they've got the radio was such a stroke of genius, and it wasn't just songs on it. I know we're talking about songs, but like they had radio presenters on there
Yeah,
that had like themes and whatnot. Just this one guy who I think I can't remember his name, but he was very up himself. And just talking about how he loved women, not certain types of women, how people might have like bad relationships. Like sounds like you're in a pickle. That couldn't be me, but here's what you could do. And it just added like flavor. So like it was like, oh, the song's over, but it doesn't matter because we've got a radio presenter back. And like there'd be times where in other games you listen to the radio and it's like, oh, my song's just finished. Let me switch radio stations. But
yeah.
like I think the other day I was playing Monopoly with some friends and just listened to the whole like his bit on the radio on YouTube because it's just that good. It's not even about the music. Let me listen to this guy, sick presenter. And I don't know if like GTA still does that or it's just tracks, but that was really good. That was 100% a highlight of GTA.
Yeah, that was, as you said, a stroke of genius. I think that they had it on the latest game, so I think they're still doing it.
Hmm.
And essentially, they want these larger than life characters. So obviously, everything is just staged for the
Yeah,
sake of the
yeah.
game. But like they have,
Mhm.
for example, there's call-in sessions where they get like crazy people to call in, and they're just chatting shit about drugs, and it's
Yeah,
so funny. Like, so as you said, even though the music's not playing, like you don't necessarily want to switch the radio station because you're
yeah,
being entertained. Uh, I mean, there's a ton of other soundtracks that I could talk about. Like Sonic, I think has probably one of the most influential soundtracks,
mm,
just because we talked about it on our podcast with DLK Games, where some of the soundtrack was Michael Jackson inspired, and you could feel it in the little woo in the background, and
yeah.
yeah, like little stuff like that just make the song so much better.
Hmm.
And
Especially when like you're waiting for a certain bit, like you know it's
mm,
coming. You're like, oh,
yeah, yeah. Certain times when I was playing games, I wouldn't complete them until I heard the second part of the song, and then be like, okay, cool, because I know that song's going.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think Sonic Mania has some of the best songs, which has obviously been pulled back from previous games because it's just
Yeah.
that kind of game. So like Lava Reef Zone is a really great one. Oil Ocean Zone is a really great one. Green Hill Zone is just a classic. Like
Yeah.
everyone recognizes those first few notes. And I think when you go into the other songs that they actually got people like Crush 40 on and Zebra Head. So His World is another really good song. Um, Sonic and the Secret Rings is a really good one. I think Steve Conti sang that. I might be wrong, but like just really good songs where people were actually frontmen, and like I think
Mm,
that's what pushed. I think that was like the first real push to make gaming mainstream, because
hmm.
originally gaming music had to be like 8-bit, or they had to be limited to get
Hmm.
on the game, and
Yeah,
that was just
exactly.
the way it was. But
Yeah.
then as soon as like the PS2 and the Xbox and GameCube came around, that's when you start to get actual singers on songs, and that's when you started to see the
Yeah.
shift. And other eyeballs and other people were now interested in this game, where all of a sudden it's gone from like Tetris, nothing wrong with Tetris by the way, it went from like
Hmm.
Tetris blocks to like you're actually simulating a sport, and you can play this with your friends. So I think music has helped the growth of gaming a lot more than we realize.
Yeah, 100%. And let's touch on your point about Sonic. Yeah, I have to agree. Like, while the Sonic games might not always, deliver, I think the soundtracks do. And like, Sonic Adventure Battle 2, or Sonic Adventure 2, that game did deliver, but its soundtrack, like Metal Harbor, the one that's like moving around at the speed of sound, and it's got others as well, but like you're playing the game and it fits the pace of the game, which is something that I really, really like. Like you're moving at high speeds, you're doing like light dashes, moving through coins, hitting all like the bounce pads and whatnot, that destroying everything in your way. It is just a perfect fit. And that's why like, games and music just adds like so much, because you're seeing you're going fast with your eyes, but like how you can hear it, you can feel it. Yeah, and it's so important. Uh, yeah, yeah. I just want to talk about Sonic. So yeah, that is.
Hey, I ain't gonna stop you. No, you're absolutely right. It's just immersive. It's just you're
Mm,
being pulled into the world where like the sound is matching the image, and as you said, there's just little subconscious things that keep us engaged, especially as kids. So
mhm.
yeah, Sonic
Yeah.
definitely did that right. And even their worst games like Sonic 06 had banging songs. Even Shadow the Hedgehog had banging songs like
Mm,
All Hail Shadow, Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, they all had banging beats and really cool singers who like were fans of the product, which is really
mm.
really cool.
Which is why like Smash Brothers is fucking phenomenal, because it takes all these great songs from different like franchises and you can just listen to them all in one place. Like obviously you can do it on YouTube, whatever, but like you're playing Smash Brothers and you're playing with, I don't know, Cloud, and like Solid Snake, and you're listening to Kingdom Hearts music. Like, who would have thought this could ever happen in a video game? Like, it's so nice that you can have all of that in one place.
You're absolutely right, and that's why Sakurai is a legend. Sakurai-san belongs in the Hall of Fame for all things gaming, because that's not easy to do. Like, you have to negotiate stuff and obtain licenses, not just for the characters, but for names, for trademarks, for the music as well. And I mean, I think we've got very lucky with every character that he brought in. I'm still a bit upset that Waluigi's not in the game, but I can forgive him for that, because he brought me Sephiroth, he brought me Cloud, he brought me Kazuya, he brought me Sonic. So I mean, he's done definitely more good than bad.
Exactly. Also, would you even main Waluigi in Smash Brothers if he was there?
No, it's just for the memes, bro.
Nah, you can't really complain then, innit? Like, I think only the Waluigi mains get to complain. I'm not having that.
I'm complaining because it's a meme, and it's not a meme if I don't complain about it. So it's cyclical, but I don't really care.
Fair enough.
Like, there's so many good characters in Smash, and I'm very glad that it's getting its flowers now, not just from the Nintendo crowd, which is a very substantial amount of people, but just like worldwide acclaim. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. Like, listening to like a song like Fight On, like, that's mad on the Smash game. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Sick, nice one.
I've also got a ton of Dragon Ball Z stuff here, because it wouldn't be me if I didn't mention Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, please do tell us about Dragon Ball Z OSTs, because they all bang.
I mean, the O is questionable, but there were quite a few. There are quite a few soundtracks in Dragon Ball Z that I'm just like, they've got to get on my phone. They've got to be on my phone. So Kenji Yamamoto, even though you broke the law, your songs were good. I don't know how much I can say without ruffling feathers, but yeah, like, playing Budokai 2 and 3 on the PS2 was genuinely life-changing for me. And because I was a fan of the show, and they had a completely different soundtrack. Bruce Falconer, even though it's come out that he didn't make a lot of the music that was actually on the show, his name is attached to it. So I mean, that's who I'm going to credit. Like, he really made anime music cool. And for a while, I mean, I think to this day, people are still debating whether the original Japanese or this American style mix of like drill and techno and rock was the better soundtrack, the better fitting soundtrack for these like super strong aliens. But the games took a very different approach, and you had, I don't know if the songs really match the visuals, but because that was the first time I've heard those songs, it just did for me. So now I can't think of certain songs without picturing certain things. So, like, for example, on Budokai 2, Challenges is used for the snowy mountain. Can't remember what the actual name of the place is, but it's a place in Dragon Ball when Goku fights, I think it's Commander Purple or Commander White or something from the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah.
So I associate that song with like snow now, and a lot of these songs are just like really hard rock. They're also really heavily plagiarized, which is probably why they're so good. But one way or another, Kenji had an ear for music. So
good for Kenji.
Yeah. So in a way, it was, there was a certain time, definitely like the teens, where every day it was like, who did Kenji rip off this time? You remember in Pokemon where it was like, who's that Pokemon? This time it was like, who did he rip off today? No. There was quite an extensive library of plagiarism on his part. But like other songs, I've got Thrilling Time, I've got Warrior from an Unknown Land, which is from the Hyperbolic Time Chamber on Budokai 2, Flight in the Dark Side, which is from Budokai 3, given to Broly when you're flying around. Powerful Man from the Darkness.
Pause you there.
Yeah.
So I've never played 2 or 3 on the PS2. I got the collection on PS3, which is very different because they took out certain music. And I just slapped on Challenges to see what we were talking about. And My goodness, Andy. It's only been 10 seconds, but this song has changed my life. I see what you mean. It's so good.
It's
It's so Dragon Ball Z. I disagree with what you said about how you think it doesn't fit. I think it fits Dragon Ball Z perfectly. Like, but at the same time, it's too heroic for Goku because Goku's not a hero. He's just a guy who likes to fight. Gohan's more of a hero. I would give this song to Gohan and not Goku.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I would definitely argue Gohan.
But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
I guess I just said it didn't necessarily like.
Ooh.
You could argue that it didn't fit. I think for me
Yeah.
it did fit just because that's like the way I play that game with that music on, so I associate those visuals with those sounds now. Whereas I
Yeah.
can see why someone else would say it didn't fit if they were
That's
to say
fair.
so. But I'm very glad that you agree with me. And Challenges is a banger. It's an absolute
Really
banger.
good.
And I've got the song that they ripped off on my Spotify as well. So
Oh, you got the actual song, the real
I've
one.
got the actual song.
Oh,
it's
nice,
by
nice.
it's by Stratovarius, who are a very good band. Warrior from an Unknown Land is also ripped off from Stratovarius, which is another good song.
Of course. Should we start listening to Stratovarius then? Because they sound like a great band.
I think we should. Well, I'm a bit like, ooh, sometimes when I like an artist's song and I go on to listen to the whole album, I don't like the album. So I'm just gonna
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
So yeah, it's gonna be a day where we're both ready to not like any of the other songs and prepare for that. But yeah, like just picture me like 7 or 8 or I can't remember how old I was, like maybe 10. And then Challenges is on repeat. And I'm not trying to finish this match because this music's so cool. So
Right.
yeah, it's there are some absolute bangers when it comes to the Budokai series. Yeah, there's a lot. And it got to the point where I personally thought that the game music was better than the anime music we were getting, and it was really good.
Okay.
I think the anime had some really good music, but like like comparing the whole albums to each other, I think the games were better, like A to Z. Which
Dragon Ball Z
could
has
be
some
harsh.
really good ones. Like
Absolutely.
I think when Gohan first turns into a Super Saiyan, I think it's this one. And it's a very like slow methodical song and it builds up. I can't remember what it's
piano.
called. Yeah, I think it might have been that one.
I know which one you're talking about. That's so good. Yeah. There's a ton of classics, and maybe we should do a podcast on anime OSTs and soundtracks. If you'd like that, hit us up in the comments or Twitter and Instagram, Streamcast_. But yeah, there was so many classics. Like Vegeta's theme was great. There's Cell's theme, which was iconic. Boo's theme, which is also iconic. Vegeto's theme. There were a lot in the anime that I would love to listen to again and again. Definitely better than the Japanese track for me. So yeah, but yeah,
you know what? I can't lie. Sometimes the Japanese tracks just don't. I've only got one example, maybe 2 examples actually. Like the Digimon theme and the Pokemon theme are so much better than the Japanese version of those themes. Because the first time I listened to the Digimon theme, I nearly threw up in my mouth. It's just no. It's very different. It's what's the phrase when 2 things are different? Like, is it water and oil? Like, it's a better phrase, but
yeah, oil and water.
Yeah, like
when 2 things don't go together. Polarizing, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh no, there's a phrase that I can't remember, but it's what it is.
Chalk and cheese.
But yeah, maybe
chalk and cheese.
Yeah, chalk and cheese is there. Yeah, all right, that's chalk and cheese. Do you know where did that even come from? Did someone just one day think, "Oh, do you know what? That piece of chalk looks amazing. I'm gonna have some of that. I'm gonna have a little bit of that on my toast, and it's gonna be delicious." And they were like, "Do you know what? This is nothing like cheese. I'm gonna stick to."
I'm gonna look this up now. I'm going to look this up. This phrase originated in the 13th century in the United Kingdom. There was a shopkeeper who often adulterated his goods just to make some profit. So sometimes he swapped chalk for cheese, or cheese for chalk, I should say, thus saving some cheese for himself, and no one would be the wiser.
I mean, it sounds like he got away with it. Good for him. Well done.
Who
If
eats
only
chalk and
Kenji
goes?
Yamamoto could get away with it.
Oh, if only. I mean, he tried. It was a long time before he got caught. It was a
Mm.
long time.
Maybe the saying should be, it's like Kenji Yamamoto and Stradivarius. That's too much of a mouthful. I don't think it's going to
Yeah,
stick.
no.
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese. Get the idioms
Chalk and
right,
cheese, yeah.
like because like English is a very popular language, and that's a bit long for them to say if they're not like first tongue native speakers.
That's true. Not fair. Yeah, should we get back to like video game music?
Yeah, I love how we just diverted. I have West City from Dragon Ball Fighters, and Fighters has a lot of good songs, but I think West City is the one that when I heard it during the demo or a trailer, I was like, this song needs to be on this game, and I need this song. It's so good. And I showed it to our good friend Miles, and when Miles likes something, it's good because he doesn't like anything.
That's true. That is a good point.
So yeah,
It's Miles, anyways.
Miles is good. I don't know if he's gonna be cool with me defamating over his character over the pod.
I mean, you've said nothing that's not true.
You know what? Yes, I love it.
Oh! I'm listening to West City right now, and it's doing things to me. Weird and wonderful things. This is a good song. Oh.
So for listeners, I'm just looking at Isaac bopping his head, and if you've seen the Drake meme, but the second half where he's like, that's what I'm seeing right now.
Oh, this is good. Oh, what other like Dragon Ball Z classics have you got for me, mate? Like, start playlist.
I have a whole list, and I don't know if you'd rather me say this now or after the pod, but I can do this either way.
Whatever works for you. Like, in fact, you can send me a PDF or something at some point, or I don't mind. I just need these in my playlist. Do you know what? I need these for the gym. Do you know what? Like, you're at the gym, right? You know what this song reminds me of? You know when you're at the gym, yeah, and like you've done a heavy set, your back hurts, you're sitting on the safeties because someone left them there. You didn't put them on because you just couldn't be asked to take them off. And
I always take them off, but continue.
You're rested. I can't be asked because I'm usually taller than most people, so the safeties are nothing to me. Yeah, they don't get in the way. And it's nice to know I won't die if I do a heavy set. But anyways, and you're just there and you're like, I've got nothing left. And then your song comes on, and it doesn't just start. There's a build up, so you can have your rest. You can hype yourself up. You can look at the weight and be like, no, I can do this. I've got this. The weight stops being intimidating. And even when you hold the bar, you're like, oh, this isn't heavy anymore. And you go down and you're like, shit, I'm in the hole. Like, when you squat and you're right there, but you're like, nah, I've got this. And you get up. And then you do a couple more reps. You do one more. And another. And not only have you just done a PB, you've done like 5 reps of your PB, and you're like, fuck yes. And now you can go up again and max out. And it's like, good feeling. Like, music is I can't say it's underrated because we all know it's amazing, but the things that it can do to you it's honestly magical. But yeah. West City, so good. I'm doing a PB to this at some point. I'm gonna wait for chest day, and I'm gonna bang this. Oh, this is good.
Well, I mean, that is like the best endorsement I've ever heard in my life. I know music, I know ball, and West City is one of those songs that you need. And to be honest, my gym soundtrack is 50% really good rap and 50% anime and gaming music because of stuff like Isaac has said. And I will not do certain sets unless a certain song is on, and I don't know what the right song is, but I know what a wrong song is, and I'm just like, nope.
I can't lift heavy to this.
Yeah, come on.
So you know how you hate Black Clover? There is one song on it that you just need to have in your gym playlist. It's called I'm gonna butcher this. Vicky Blanca. I think I've butchered that, but my goodness, that is a great song to lift to. Do you know what, this has become a gym's songs to listen to in the gym podcast.
Hey,
It's
hey,
like
hey,
bring this back on topic.
hey, there's nothing wrong with that because, like, as you said, we do use music in our daily lives, and 9 times out of 10, the average person loves music, right?
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form, whether it's to go to the gym, whether it's like, do something else to. Music is
Wait,
like the
something else too or someone else too?
something else too.
Oh, okay, sure.
Wow. I was trying to be so like political with it. You're like,
So my mate was like on my course, yeah, like met some really cool peeps. We all met up once. And then the guy's like, he says to one of us, yeah, can you like, send me your Afrobeats playlist? And like, so we now know that he likes Afrobeats, but like on first glance, like you wouldn't tell. And my guy's like, do you know what? I need to, because the other guy like really loves Afrobeats, but he doesn't actually have a playlist. And it's like, I should get a playlist. And then the other guy comes clean as to why he says it. And he's like, so, when me and my girl are in the kitchen and, I'd like to, you get a bit close to her and whatnot. And I was like, all of us are like, yeah, this guy, we like him. We like this guy. He knows what it's about.
Oh dear. Well, moving on
Yeah, Black
from
Clover,
that,
really good.
I'm gonna listen to that after the pod.
Yeah, really good.
But I wanted to move on a little bit to like theme songs of like games or
Yes.
anything like that. Do you have any? I mean, I know you have one at least. I don't know if you've listened to it recently, but does Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit ring a bell to you?
Honestly, that was what I was about to say next. You've read my mind. Burst Limit is one of the best opening songs. No, Dragon Ball Z always smack it out of the park. So, Budokai Tenkaichi 2 had a really sick opening. 1 had a really good opening. 3 had a really good opening. Burst Limit has an amazing opening. Those 4 games, I absolutely adore their opening. But Burst Limit, like, it's so good. Like, even the video for it
Oh
is
yeah.
really like well done. Yeah. And unfortunately, I think that was the best thing about the game. I haven't played it myself, but the reviews were very mixed. It wasn't this is the Dragon Ball Z game to play. It was mixed. Real shame, but man, that
Yeah.
intro.
It's not the worst game, but it's not the best game.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. And
yeah.
like I think it's one of those ones you got because I think it was the first Dragon Ball Z game on like the next gen console back in the day. So it was the first on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So if you wanted Dragon Ball Z on those, you had to get Burst Limit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't know if they were trying to recreate the magic of Budokai, but I think they failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my goodness, ooh, that intro, so good. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna say that intro is so good. So you got to stop me. That's on
I,
repeat. Broken record
I,
here, mate.
I 100% agree because that's exactly what happened to me. It was the
Mm,
first Dragon Ball Z game on the PS3 that I could get, so I got it. The theme song was fantastic, and for me, the theme song is almost like the starter to the meal, which is the game.
mm,
So
mm.
I've enjoyed the starter, and I'm ready for the entree, and it's fucking raw. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, to be honest,
Oh,
Burst Limit is just one of those middling games. So like it's like a
yeah,
5 or a 6 out of 10, which is not memorable because it's not shit, but it's not
yeah.
amazing, so it's also not memorable. So it just gets
Just
thrown
like
away.
standard, yeah. Knock it out.
Yeah,
Yearly Dragon Ball Z game, whatever.
yeah. And yes, I agree. I do think they were trying to continue the Budokai like series, the feeling in those games, but they just couldn't get it right. It just wasn't the same. But I think Budokai 2 and 3 both had amazing theme songs and video packages, and they were just better games, in my opinion. 3 is, I think, the best one
Mm.
out of the Budokai series, but 2 is also very fun, and I like their unique take with the board game story mode. I
Yeah,
also have.
I don't.
No,
No,
go
go on.
on.
Actually, sorry. I was
No,
gonna
I'm
say
going
I
to talk
like
about
it
something
when.
else. So go on.
Oh, it's fair enough. I just like it when games. That's the one thing I like about Dragon Ball Z. Like when I was young, Because like I never watched it until I was older, but I'd see sections of it, and it'd be very like cartoony and like chill and very playful. But then the kids in the playground talk about these like serious fights, and I'm like, how can that be Dragon Ball Z? And then later on, when like I finally got the game and like I finally got to watch it, I was like, oh, I get it now. And that aspect has been translated into the games like really well. So it's nice when they do that board game kind of thing, when you can fly around the map, when you can land in certain places and talk to people and like find like Dragon Balls like in weird locations and whatnot. And I don't know if Limit had that. Do you know what? Let me not talk about Limit or anything, but like all the Dragon Ball Z games that I really like have those little nuances, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all for me. I'll let you like move this along.
Another theme song that I really liked was Street Fighter 4, the original one. I think it's called Indestructible. I haven't heard it in a few years, but I think that's the game, and I think that's the one because Street Fighter 5 is too recent. But I do remember for a very long time, I'd go to Miles' place and we just play Street Fighter 4. I would never win because I never knew how to play Street Fighter, and Miles knew how to play Street Fighter. So that was going one way. Yeah. But it was very...
Oh, sorry, no, go on.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just gonna like ramble. Yeah, it's fine.
But it was very fun to listen to that opening. It was very fun to like learn more about the characters, and that was my first Street Fighter. I know it wasn't 3 because that was too old, so it must be 4. I think it is. And I think Street Fighter is a challenging game to play. I don't think it's for me, but I can see the appeal of it and why people like it.
There's no sidestepping in Street Fighter, is there?
No, it's completely 2D.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna prefer Tekken.
The thing is, 2D has worked in fighting games in the past. So
yeah,
Dragon Ball FighterZ does it really well. Even Street Fighter 2, when we played it on the SNES Mini, that's played really well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. It's just Street Fighter 5 just misses the mark for me.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Do you have any other...
Do you know what Indestructible is? Sorry, I'm just listening to Indestructible. It's really good. It doesn't sound like it should be in a video game. Do you know what it sounds like? It sounds like the noughties boy bands that are really up themselves, and when they sing, they think they're the best thing since sliced bread. That's the vibe I'm getting from this song. But I don't hate it. It's really good.
Yes, I think it's definitely a product of its time.
Yes, I fully agree.
Were there any other theme songs that you were big on, or any other soundtracks?
Do you know, I can roll back now. Simple and Clean from Kingdom Hearts. It's one of the best songs ever made. That's it. That's how I start my gym session sometimes when I'm walking along. Just listen to a really good song and keep it moving. I think that I mean, Legend of Zelda, like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's the best in the world, but like it's a really good way to like start the game. It just kind of works. It just lets you know you're about to go on a grand adventure. I wouldn't listen to it in my everyday life, but when I pop in the disc and it plays, I'm like, oh, I'm going on an adventure. I'm gonna have a good time. But yeah, I think that's it. Unless you want to hear, just Dragon Ball Z songs, I think I'm done.
Hey, I will send you that list after this pod. I got
you. Please. I might have to go to the gym after this pod. I'm just gonna like, go on Spotify, get all those tracks, and just break all my PRs, man.
Really quickly, I will just give a nod to The Last of Us because they've made a unique feeling. They created a unique atmosphere with their soundtrack, and it's not my favorite, but I like that about it because they've gone for a definite theme and they stuck to it, and I love the consistency. They've gone for like guitar, almost banjo sounding music, and it's very slow, it's very deliberate, and I think it's basically taken a lot of inspiration from The Walking Dead, but I think it just hasn't just copied and pasted, right? I think it's taken bits from great pieces of previous material and just put their own spin on it. And yeah, man, there's certain things in that game that, especially when married up to some of the sound effects, the sound engineering, just create a fantastic environment. Like if we ever do a podcast on like sound effects or anything like that, the clickers are going there in the Walk of Fame because my
Oh,
word,
I get
oh
goosebumps every time I
yeah,
hear those clicks. Oh, and
whoever
like they're
did
so.
that,
Oh,
mm,
yeah,
whoever
yeah,
did
I
that,
know, right? Good
chef's
for them.
kiss. Yeah. Sorry, what were
And
you saying?
like, no, I was just gonna say this. Clickers are so dangerous because like they get their hands on you, and if you don't have a knife, you just die straight away. So those clicks just they really do something to you. They really do unnerve you massively. And there is no better feeling than when you finally get out of that weird dungeon, you see the light, and you leave those clickers behind. Because fuck me, man. I don't. They don't. They. You know when something's so terrifying that you kind of want to say this game's shit, but you know you can't because it definitely adds to the game. That's what
Yeah,
clickers are for me. I hate them, but I can't badmouth the game for it because they're the enemy. Really well done.
I think it's just more like venting or frustration at that specific part of the game. But even that,
Yeah.
it's well done, and because it does what it's meant to do, it frustrates you, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
understandable. I think, yeah, for me with the clicking, I definitely just associate that with the end because,
Mhm.
yeah, those clicking means that there's a clicker nearby. If you can hear it, then it can probably hear you too. So yeah,
Yup.
not for me.
And you know what? Like, they're apparently blind, but they're not. They see you. Like, you literally you won't touch anything, and out of nowhere they're just on you, and you're like, oh fuck you, now I'm dead now.
Maybe it's one of those deals where because it's echolocation, they can see like
Yeah,
waves and movements
maybe
and like wind
they
going
just
against your clothes and
absolutely
stuff.
hate them.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's a game that's made me feel like totally helpless, and I hate that
What would
feeling.
you rather have to deal with? Like clickers, like a whole horde of clickers, or one Mr. X?
Whew. I'd rather do a Mr. X.
Okay.
It's just there's just one of him. How about you?
But if I had some Molotovs handy, I think I could do the clickers.
A
And it'd
horde
give
of
me great
clickers.
satisfaction. When I say horde, I mean like, 5 to 10. And like
It's not a
I'm not
horde.
surrounded. I'm not surrounded. Well, no, you played Days Gone, all right. Like those
Yeah,
are yeah,
that's a
that's
proper
no, like
horde.
Days Gone, I think they reinvented the horde, right? Horde isn't that big. It's like, small. It's a small gathering, small gathering of clickers. Okay, a small gathering of clickers or one Mr. X.
Okay, if it's capped out at 10, then I'll take the
Yeah.
clickers.
Okay, cool. Nice, nice.
So yeah, when
Yeah,
I
no,
heard
horde,
horde,
yeah.
I was thinking Days Gone horde.
Oh yeah, no, no, no.
Oh crap. And of course, obligatory God of War reference. I love the soundtrack. I think it's really good. Like, it is legitimately good, and they've gone out of their way to not only make a different kind of sound to the original series of games, but they've actually gone to the Scandinavian countries and gotten throat singing. And even the theme song is just epic. And if
Yeah.
you were to watch the E3 2016 opening, I want to say, there is just the orchestra and no one knows what's happening, but they're hearing good music and they know they're hearing like a good orchestra. And yeah, the entire album's like that. Like Valkyrie, that song is amazing. And of course,
Mm,
it plays when you fight the Valkyrie. So I always associate it to like a really hard boss battle. So
yep.
that helps me when I'm benching.
Nice.
There's certain songs like Memories of Mother and Ashes that sound the same and that they sound really sad because obviously
Mm,
um Faye has just passed in the game. So those songs really bring me to like sadness and loss. And that's a really good game that really brings emotions out of you. Not even
mm,
like with scenes or anything, but like just the sounds. They are
yeah.
conveying emotions and communicating with sounds and music. So yeah, they did a really good job. Shout out Bear McCreary. Yes, we mentioned several of our favorite music influences when it comes to gaming. So please leave a comment on what your favorite soundtracks are. Are you a Legend of Zelda person? Do you like the calm sounds of like Overcooked? Do you like the intensity of a Street Fighter or a Tekken? Or are you someone that just loves the anime games like a Dragon Ball Z or a Naruto, where there's like an already set precedent to just influence and imitate? Let us know. Now, there are plenty of good soundtracks when it comes to gaming. But now we are in an era where we can't often enjoy those games as intended because a lot of people are streaming, me included, and we have to worry about DMCA, four of the nastiest letters in the world. And I mean, I guess for you, Isaac, as someone who enjoys streams, you watch Let's Plays, and there's some games you consume that way. Does that make
Mhm.
a difference to you if someone can't like play the original songs on the GTA? You can't hear that Eminem song, or you can't hear that Kanye song. Does that make a big difference to you?
Um, if I'm the one consuming a streamer's content, then no, not in the slightest, because I'm already not consuming the game the way it was originally meant to be consumed, if that makes sense. Like the fact that I'm not playing it is that's one thing. The fact that you've got someone speaking over it, that's another thing. I can't just watch a game being played without someone like speaking to us or watch a stream of a game, if that makes sense. So if someone's now talking of it, that's another thing. Someone's giving their own like opinions and thoughts about it. It's someone else's voice now, which is really important. Like you get some streamers where you just cannot stand their voice, and you've got some streamers who they might not be the best, but there's something like really nice and relaxing and just enjoyable about their voice, and you're like, yeah, I'll watch this. Um, like there's one streamer. Is he a streamer? Well, he makes video content about the game, and just the way he speaks about the game, like it's very unique. There's no one else like him, in my opinion. Um, so the fact that the songs might not be there, that's absolutely fine because I am enjoying the game through vicariously through this other person, and at that point it stops being about the music, so it's not so much of a big deal. Now if I was playing the game and now the songs were different and it was as a game that I played in the past, now that's a different story. 'Cause then it's not quite the same because I think like certain games that are getting like re-released or remastered or whatever, they're not always shipping with the original music. And for me personally, that's a shame because a lot of what you enjoyed about that game does come from the music. Like, see, when you fight a tough boss, there's a certain track that comes with it, and if that track's not there, it's just gonna feel a bit weird. It's just gonna feel a bit off. Do you know what I mean? So to answer your question, nah. Someone's streaming a game and the original music isn't there. I don't care. And chances are they're gonna have better music playing in the background. So like
That's
whatever.
fair.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. What about yourself?
So I wanted to ask you a quick follow up, actually. So based
Oh
off
yeah,
that,
sure.
so
Mm,
obviously you were streaming as part of Past the Soul on Twitch, and
mm,
you played Saints Row the Third, which was a
yeah.
very enjoyable game, but one
Mm,
that is really known for its soundtrack and its music. Was that an issue
yeah.
for you having to like avoid playing the music in the game?
Oh, do you know what? I was actually gonna come back with a question. I was gonna ask you that same question because, like,
Oh,
you
okay.
stream. I'm like, yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah, it was really annoying actually because I think I need to hear like in one of the final missions, I need a hero. I can't remember who sang it, so I will defer to Shrek who covered it, and it was sung by the fairy godmother. No, not the fairy godmother. Yes, the fairy godmother. It's such a great scene. Like, Shrek's coming in to save the day, and he's got the gingerbread man, he's got Pinocchio, everyone with him helping out. And then the big gingerbread man, like, he gets his arms cut off and he falls down. It's really sad. And anyways, um, but this song plays, and it is a larger than life song, and you're there like about to save, I think, either Shondi or someone else, like one of your crew has been kidnapped and you got to save them. And this song plays, and I think it's really important. And maybe it's because I played it when I was younger, and I think that song just goes together, or maybe it actually just is a good fit. But yeah, not being able to hear that when I played that mission was I was a bit sad, because it took the sting out of it, it took the impact out of that mission, and it just felt like any old mission. And that's kind of why, like, if a streamer's playing a game and the original music isn't there, I don't care because the enjoyment you get from that music is replaced by the good vibes and the enjoyment the streamers getting. That kind of makes up for the lack of music, I would say. So yeah, in terms of if you're playing a game and that's taken away, yeah, it does kind of ruin it a little bit, I'd say. Actually, it massively ruins it because uh imagine like there are videos like this. Yeah, there's a video and it's High School Musical, but without the singing. It's just all of them like banging on the pots and you've seen that video, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's that. It's basically that when you don't have music in video games. That's what it is. It's just shit. It's like something is missing.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy.
um, yeah,
But
like as a streamer, what are your thoughts?
yeah, so I'll tackle that with each of the questions. So the first one was does it bother me when I consume content and I can't enjoy the original soundtrack? Similar to you, I would say not so much because I understand why that's a thing. It's not like the person has decided to ruin all the music. So I'm going to take a brief tangent, hopefully. So
Oh yes, please. Love these.
Vince McMahon owns
Mhm.
WWE. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And he's a billionaire that could, quite frankly, be on his way to being a trillionaire. But he is so obsessed with being in control of everything that he refuses to do stuff that would make his product better. So really good theme songs for his characters, he will change them and give them like store garbage stuff, right? Characters with cool names, he will change those and just PGify them, like just make them really like cookie cutter, and that really annoys me. And then he'll fire them. But like my point there is not the person streaming. It's not their choice to get rid of like Kanye versus featuring Dwell Flashing Lights. It's not their fault that you can't play that final song in Ghost of Tsushima or whatever. It's something that's been
Wait, can you
imposed.
not play the final song in Ghost?
Well, it got muted on our stream.
Yes. Oh.
So yeah, it's not their fault. So for me, it doesn't annoy me, but DMCA annoys me.
Yeah.
And I think that is an issue that needs to be resolved outside of like streaming and YouTubing. I think that's a thing where people who give games the rights to use their music, I think there needs to be some sort of allowance for people playing those games because they're simply enjoying the games as designed by the developers. And I don't think they should be punished for putting music that was provided on the game. It's not like they got their Spotify playlist and were playing it live on stream. That's different.
Right. Yeah.
And the streamer is the difference between just someone else playing the game, right? That's why they get all the subs and the follows. I don't believe that they should be getting punished, and I think DMCA needs to change in that way. They said it's changed, it's not really. Like there needs to be proper change about that, either there or people stop asking licensed music to be in their games, because if this is going to be an issue, then you are going to ruin your games for the way that they are very popularly enjoyed now. Twitch is massive.
I know what you mean.
YouTube is also massive, and a lot of people simply can't afford those games. Some people don't want those games. Some people are torn on whether they want those games, and watching someone else play it is like the best advert to actually get a game. So why are they now having to like break down that game and give you, in essence, a rougher version of that game, like without all the bells and whistles on it? I think that's nonsensical, personally. But that's not something I won't, I won't hold that against the streamer. I won't not watch someone because they're not going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack in the game. It's yeah. And
I think,
sorry, go on.
No, sorry, no. Finish off. Don't worry.
And to answer the question about myself, I hate it. I honestly hate it. It's the worst. It's the worst. And what I find funny is when I get surprised with, some of your stream has been muted because it contains copyrighted music. Like, well, I didn't know that, did I? Why don't?
Yep.
Why isn't there like a warning label saying copyrighted music somewhere? I'm glad
Right.
A lot of recent releases do have the option to turn off music that would get you in trouble.
But here's the thing, that doesn't always work. Sometimes,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some something is always going to slip through the cracks. It's not foolproof, and I'm getting punished because this song is on a game that I like, and I paid for the game. So why am I not in my rights to enjoy the game as intended? I paid for the game. Like, I understand music isn't like the it's not like a perfect world for everyone, but
Mm.
I mean, I'm just trying to play the game. Like, let me enjoy it. I
You know what I
hate
mean?
it.
And like
So, what are
another
you gonna
thing
say,
is,
Isaac?
no, I was just gonna say, like, if you're not consuming the music like you would on Spotify as well. Like someone's talking over it. There's video gameplay going over it. And let's say, you do chill back to listen to the video game soundtrack. How many streamers are gonna do that in the grand scheme of things? It's gonna be something in the background. And like I think you mentioned this as well. If you're gonna do that, then you're exposing your music to less people. What happened to my light? I
I
guess I'm
don't
orange
know.
now. But you're exposing your music to less people, and like getting paid is 100% better than exposure. I'm not denying that at
Yeah,
all. But someone has already bought your game, so someone has already, and your music is just on it. You've been paid for that, anyways. Um, and I guess I don't know. Maybe they want more. I know the music industry is very, very cutthroat, so maybe these musicians like do need to get paid or whatever. But I don't know, man. Maybe we just need some like new contracts where you can just let all the music in this game be streamed. So I don't think streaming is a problem. Streaming has allowed more people to get into games and to understand games and whatnot. Like there are certain games out there where you watch someone play it and you're like, I want to give that a go. Or you watch someone play it and you're like, oh, that's how you beat that boss. Maybe I can do it. Or you watch someone play it and you're like, you know what? I never wanted to play this game before, but maybe I can. Maybe I can beat this game. Maybe I will enjoy it. And then you go and play it. Like, I don't know, man. I don't see it. If someone, knows why DMCA is important and, it should be there, please let me know. But honestly, I don't see its merit. It just feels like why put the music in the game at all?
exactly. I agree with that. Yeah, I
Although I
agree with
will
everything you
say,
said.
oh, thank you. I
Go
will
on.
say, with Guardians of the Galaxy, that gets a pass when it comes to DMCA, because Guardians of the Galaxy is all about pop music and music you've enjoyed from your childhood. Like Star Lord is literally a product of I think the 70s or 80s, and he knows all the songs, and he's got his tape recorder, and that is the one song. That's the one game I'd be like, "Do you know what? If you want to DMCA that, DMCA the shit out of that game, because it has just got lots and lots and lots of pop classics and bangers and whatnot." So that's fair enough. Everything else, come on, like
Yeah, I get that because the music is very much part of the game. So I do
yeah,
understand, even though I don't like it, I very much do not like it. But yeah, it's understandable because it's just littered everywhere. So
that's so
yeah,
good.
it is good. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Yeah, but then I guess Disney are behind it, so yeah, that's probably gonna get hit by some hard DMCA. 'Cause,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Disney don't like to share.
They're one of those people that don't need to worry about the money either. So like all of those songs, it's calm. That's why they were all
Yeah.
in the movies and in the game in the first place.
Hmm.
But for us, we don't want to go up against Disney. No, no, it's too
Yeah,
late.
nah,
It's mad.
not worth it. Not worth it at all.
Not at all. So
Um,
music is very important. We started talking enough about our favorite musicians and our albums, and now imagine you are in charge of
mm,
making a soundtrack for a game. You can make like a gaming themed EP, 3 to 5 songs. What songs are you putting on there, Isaac?
oh, it's got to be for a game. I was thinking it could just be like an EP that I could just listen to whenever, because I was
Well, yeah.
leaning heavily to just gym
So
EP.
like think of it as your
Um,
soundtrack, or like whether you're feeling like you're going to the gym today, or you're going to go out on
mhm,
a date today, or you're going to go and do something you've never done before, like
mm.
maybe 3 to 5 songs that could get you ready for like any occasion.
Do you know? All right, that's calm. I'll keep it, related to games as well. Put simple and clean at the start of that. Throw in some West City, throw in some Challenger, throw in some uh Budokai Tenkaichi opening one. Throw some of that in there.
Ooh, okay.
And then, you said for all occasions, so even a date. So we will slap on some. What am I feeling? What am I feeling? Me check Spotify super quickly. That last song. That song will be. Where's my? I need to like order my playlists better, so I just can't find what I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. Oh no, wait. No, yeah, here it is. The last one will be. We'll put some Sexual Eruption by Snoop Dogg, and that will round it off. Let's do it. This has got everything in there. You know, got Simple and Clean, really chill. You got your gym bangers, and then you got the date song. That's all you need for the day.
Fair enough. I am finished.
They only gave me 5. Did what I could.
I also said gaming soundtracks. Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Whoa! Snoop Dogg is in Call of Duty. He's like the guy in your ear when like you touch down or you kill someone or you get a care package. I'm not having that. Snoop Dogg is part of gaming, right?
Which game is Sexual Eruption from?
It's not in enough. That's what I say. It's not in enough. Enough about my games.
Okay.
What about yours? What's your EP saying?
So I'm gonna try and keep it short and sweet. In my EP, I've definitely got West City there.
Yeah.
Just because it's amazing. The way it starts with the what do you call those like violin instruments? Are they woodwind? No, they're not woodwind. They are what are they?
I'm playing it, but I'm not hearing those instruments. Oh, wait, I'm hearing them.
String, right? Like violins and stuff.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. And there's also like, you know, back in school where you had that thing that looked like an ice cream cone, but it was made out of wood and you'd like bang it. Don't know if that rings a bell or you know what I'm talking about, but I can hear some of those in there as well.
Maybe.
Just some sort of, I guess, percussion instrument. This is how much I don't know
Yeah.
about music. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I get where you're coming from. I'm feeling it.
Yes, West City
Yeah.
because I love the strings and then I love the juxtaposition of like the is it DRM, like the really unce kind of music afterwards.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know if this fits, and then oh wait, no, it does. Yeah.
I'm gonna have Guile's theme in there from Street Fighter 2, the original.
Yes.
I know they've tried to like do certain things to modernize it, but it just doesn't hit the same. Street Fighter 4 and 5, it just doesn't hit the same. Original from 2. I'm gonna have Warrior from an Unknown Land from the Dragon Ball Z games, just because that's brilliant. That's a really good song. I'm gonna have Live and Learn from the Sonic franchise.
Yes, nice.
And I'll put Everybody Loves the Sunshine in there as well because like that's very different. That's a chill song, and everything else there is kind of like high energy. So yeah, I'll put something there for more relaxed situations.
Oh, sounds good, man.
Thank you. Yours was good as well, especially Snoop Dogg.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But listeners and viewers, let us know if you could make an EP of 3 to 5 songs, gaming themed. What songs would they be? Let us know in the comment section or on Twitter and Instagram, streamcast_. And also, let us know how you feel about DMCA. Do you think it's fair the way it is right now, where you can't really put copyright music on your streams and your videos? As in, do you have an understanding? I'm trying to not make that a loaded question. Do you think it's fair, or or are you against those? And do you think like the game should just be enjoyed as is when it's ready for retail? Let us know in the comment section. That's going to bring us to an end to another fantastic Streamcast. Make sure you follow us on all of our platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Streamcast_. Follow us on Twitch, Streamcast TV. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the Streamcast, and tap the bell, set it to all so you get every video as soon as it goes live. And if you don't know where our YouTube is, go to youtube.com/Streamcast. We also have a Patreon where you can get exclusive content like extra podcasts, extra streams, extra unique stuff that you won't get anywhere else. and the link will be in the description. We'll shout out our official patron, Spilt Milk Studios. Make sure you follow them wherever you can. And of course, you can listen to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. If your podcast platform allows you to, please give us a rating and a review. That helps us out greatly. And if we do not currently air our episodes where you like to receive them, let us know. Hit us up on any of the socials that I've mentioned previously. I think I mentioned everything. Yeah. Yeah, this will likely be Christmas when this episode actually goes out. So I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And why not in the comment section, let us know what is your favorite ever Christmas present. Isaac, do you have one?
Mum got me a Wii. It was sick.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
What are you?
Mine is either Budokai 2 that my parents got me for Christmas.
Nice.
Because I used to sneak around the house and like scratch my presents open enough so I could see what it was and then like retie them. I'm sure my parents knew what I was doing, but I was very excited when that was my present. Or it's Ring Fit, which I got last year. So very great gifts. Very great gifts. But that will do it for this episode. Please take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Stay safe, and we'll see you in 2022. Take care.
See you later.